Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. Welcome to Extreme Recap, everyone. You are a powerful stand user, but you have to deal with the silent enemies that are constantly after you. We'll talk about the bizarre live-action adventure JoJo. Precious Stone is tough. A group of police officers is encircling an apartment on a specific night, where a serial killer by the name of Angelo is quietly eating dinner while holding a family hostage. At the point when the police boss hears a commotion coming from inside, he separates the entryway. Yet, the executioner had previously gotten away and killed one of the casualties with a fork in the throat, taking off from various cops. A mysterious man stands in the way of the criminal, and he shoots him in the neck with an arrow, bringing his death there. Yet, the bowman presents a sort of custom and compliments him for being the divinely selected individual. The assassin comes back to life, and the water around him starts to move on its own. He is taken into custody by the police, and they begin questioning him. Angelo observes the outside rain. The room starts to trickle through the roof and load up with water. As if he already knows what he's doing, Angelo uses his powers to escape while being watched by an odd water creature he summoned from the victim. Koichi, a high school student, is getting ready for another day of school the following day. He sees on the news the new brutal wrongdoings in his town, and becomes uneasy. En route, some insane students keep him out because they say they want his money and threaten him. However, when Josuke, a man, passes by, he runs into one of the stupid people. Then, at that point, the harasser ridicules the man, saying that his hair is a major joke. Josuke was so furious that he unleashed his aura of power and struck the bullies in the head with one blow. Strangely, the offenders have suffered severe injuries. As soon as the boy leaves the scene, their bodies return to normal. He has no idea how it happened in a city park because Josuke still fixes bicycles and coaches. Angelo actually proceeds with his explosions and shock assaults. He utilizes the water animal to have one kid, assuming control over his activities in killing the other before him. In a convenience store, we find out that the boy who survived has also been possessed and is acting strangely. Furthermore, he compromises the chaperone with a blade returning. The boy is possessed and holding the attendant hostage, according to Joseph. After that, the man insults him once more and makes fun of his bazaar. Even Koichi doesn't think this is true. The attacker goes after the young lady with the blade. However, Josuke deals the criminal a second blow, reversing the attack and piercing the man's back once more. The girl has not been hurt and the wounds are gone. Additionally, the man is revealed to have the knife inside of him. In any case, it starts to wind and tumbles to the ground, letting the animal out of the water, which escapes into the sewers. Angelo was standing in that general area watching, and presently he will make Josuke his next target. Since he obstructed his entire strategy late at night, the enigmatic archer reappears and fires an arrow at a random man. However, this time, the casualty has not restored. Additionally, the man simply discharges his bow and leaves. The following day, Koichi is riding his bike at full speed when he runs into someone. He was about to hit them in the street, but a power stops time and makes him stand up. Guitar apologizes and requests that Koichi take him to Josuke. Koichi acquaints the new colleague with his classmate. Jitaru claims to be Joseph's nephew and to know a lot about his family, which is surprising. Atara inquires as to whether he has been seeing bizarre things. However, Josuke apologizes and states that he has no interest in the leaves. The girls rush in and discuss the boy's messy hair. Gitaro says to leave the dumb stuff for some other time. The fight will begin if you mention the hair. Josuke turns out of frustration to assault. However, Ataro hits him with an incomparable punch with his stand.
Josuke is having dinner with his mother Tomoko, and his grandfather who is a policeman, Mr. Higashikata. Grandpa talks about how happy he is to be by their side every day at dinner, and is sure that he will soon solve the city's violence. The next day, Jitaro has been analyzing the recent crimes and realizes that Angelo is always eliminating his victims near water, as if they kill people from the inside out. This indicates that in fact his stand uses water as energy. The weather is changing outside, and if rain is going to fall, that is worrisome. Shortly thereafter, Angelo arrives at Josuke's house. The rain begins to fall, the water from the fountain rises in the air, and he orders his at Josuke's house. The rain begins to fall, the water from the fountain rises in the air, and he orders his stand to totally eliminate Josuke's family. Inside the house, Josuke notices that there was something sinister inside his mother's mouth as soon as she drank a glass of water. He immediately uses his stand to collect the creature from inside his mother, without her suffering any harm. He shakes the bottle and can see the creature inside. Josuke calls Jotaro and tells him that he has managed to trap the water stand, but Jotaro warns him to keep an eye on the thing until he arrives. Interestingly, Josuke shakes the bottle so much that Angelo water stand, but Jotaro warns him to keep an eye on the thing until he arrives. Interestingly, Josuke shakes the bottle so much that Angelo is also attacked by the vibrations of the stand. The problem is that the genie decides to go to the bathroom and leaves an enemy stand alone in the room. His grandfather is in the kitchen looking for a drink, but can't find it. Seeing this, the stand turns into a bottle of liquor, and so Mr. Higashikata takes the bottle with him. When Josuke returns and continues playing his Super Nintendo, he hears a loud noise coming from his grandfather's room. He rushes there, but unfortunately his grandfather was already about to die from the stand's attack. But Josuke is not upset at all, because his power of restoration can heal his grandfather quickly, no matter what state he is in. The house is all destroyed and flooded due to the stand's power. Jotaro is also there and realizes that the creature is still present in the place. Suddenly jets of water try to puncture him from all sides. The stand reveals itself, realizes that the creature is still present in the place. Suddenly jets of water try to puncture him from all sides. The stand reveals itself and attacks Josuke, forcing Jotaro to freeze time just in time. Jotaro's stand exchanges quick punches with the creature, throwing him away. Now both of them need to be on alert. The room is filled with water and the attack could come from any direction. The kettle begins to release a dense steam throughout the house. The room is filled with water and the attack could come from any direction. The kettle begins to release a dense steam throughout the house. Jotaro tells them not to breathe it, but the steam from the hot bath also begins to spread, surrounding the two of them on all sides. Josuke had an idea: blow up the wall with a punch from his stand and then restore it. He just didn't count on his sweat being his own trap. The room had a humidifier on. The creature had already managed to enter his body. The stand begins to attack Josuke from the inside, but surprisingly, he had expected this maneuver, and manages to trap the stand inside a small rubber glove that he had swallowed. Surprisingly, he had expected this maneuver, and manages to trap the stand inside a small rubber glove that he had swallowed to pieces shortly before in the kitchen. Jotaro has blood in his eyes. They go to Angelo and he waves the glove with stand in it to make the bastard feel every blow, flying and crashing several times on the ground. To punish him further, Josuke doesn't arrest or eliminate him. He simply mixes Angelo's molecules with a huge rock from the park, sealing the curse forever. Only there is one very sad detail in all this. Josuke's grandfather does not wake up. The boy doesn't understand why his power didn't work and is distraught. Jotaro says that he has already passed away before the boy could even regenerate him, or didn't work and is distraught. Jotaro says that he has already passed away before the boy could even regenerate him. The healing stand cannot revive someone, only treat their wounds. Before Tomoko's funeral, Josuke's mother tells a family story. 16 years ago, the old man could not protect a young girl in high school, and since then, he blamed himself, considering himself a failed policeman who never again tried to get promoted in any position or rank, and his life mission was to protect the city at all costs, regardless of the means. At his grandfather's funeral, Josuke sees the mysterious figure again and decides to follow it. Koichi also ends up going after him out of concern. Josuke sees the mysterious figure again and decides to follow it. Koichi also ends up going after him out of concern. They arrive at a large abandoned mansion. A man named Okuyasu appears questioning the intruders and attacks Koichi. Then we find out that the mysterious boy is Kaicho Nijimura, who manages to shoot an arrow through the boy's chest. Okuyasu releases his stand and will not allow Josuke to heal his friend, and he goes after him. The two exchange a few blows until Josuke finally realizes the ability of Okuyasu's stand, which is to erase a piece of the real world where the blow from his right hand hits. With that, Josuke dodges the following blows, and it's a piece of the real world where the blow from his right hand hits. With that, Josuke dodges the following blows, and Okuyasu ends up knocked out on the ground. The problem now is that Koichi has disappeared, following the trail of blood. Josuke meets again with Kaicho, who states that he did not choose Koichi as a target, Josuke meets again with Kaicho, who states that he did not choose Koichi as a target. He is insignificant. Okayasu comes back screaming for his brother who wants to help him in battle, but Kaicho cowardly fires hundreds of projectiles at his own brother, saying that he is weak and useless. Josuke tries to drag the boy's body away and ends up being shot in the hand. He tries to ask for some information that will help. Josuke tries to drag the boy's body away and ends up being shot in the hand. He tries to ask for some information that will help him defeat Kaicho, but unfortunately Okayasu does not provide him with any information. Surprisingly, instead of killing him, he heals all of his enemy's wounds. Okayasu is at a loss and questions Josuke as to why he would heal someone who is trying to kill him. Josuke then questions Josuke as to why he would heal someone who is trying to kill him. Josuke then answers that there was no deep reason for him to take his opponent's life, and also when questioned, he reveals that his wounds cannot be regenerated at all with his stand. Now Josuke goes to his friend Koichi and uses his repair power. Okayasu just watches and leaves. However, Josuke quickly hides. There is a group of small soldiers out. Okayasu just watches and leaves. However, Josuke quickly hides. There is a group of small soldiers parachuting in, which turns out to be Keicho's stand. Josuke must go about blocking the various shots of the mini-army. They start coming in heavy, with helicopters and bazookas, forcing Josuke to use his stand in the middle of the room and shoot backers and bazookas. Forcing Josuke to use his stand in the middle of the room and shoot back the various missiles and projectiles. Incredibly, Koichi can see the stand clearly. That's when Kaicho arrives with his full artillery, threatening Koichi to reveal his true power. But the boy is terrified and doesn't quite understand what this is. A little soldier then hits Enchi to reveal his true power, but the boy is terrified and doesn't quite understand what this is. A little soldier then hits a knife on his foot, which causes him to panic and accidentally summons an egg, but he doesn't know what to do with it. Kaicho uses all his strength to attack them. Josuke kicks the egg away to protect it, and his stand sends out a machine gun of blows to repel the bullets fired at them. Ed kicks the egg away to protect it, and his stand sends out a machine gun of blows to repel the bullets fired at them. As a final attack, Kaicho fires several explosive missiles at Josuke, and leaves him increasingly weakened and powerless. The bursts of gunfire are incessant. The stand even tries to stop the missiles, but his defense is exhausted and he ends up falling almost. The stand even tries to stop the missiles, but his defense is exhausted and he ends up falling almost lifeless. Seeing his friend dying to protect him makes Koichi angry, and with that, he activates his power, releasing a green aura, and his egg begins to crack, releasing a small greenish creature. But unfortunately, it can't do anything. Just a few useless little punches. At that moment, Josuke eventually awakes, but unfortunately, it can't do anything. Just a few useless little punches. At that moment, Josuke eventually awakens and restores the missiles fired at him. He fires them at Kaicho, eliminating his stand army. Josuke thanks Koichi for giving him enough time to create the missile strategy. They decide to go up the stairs together to find Kaicho. Koichi slowly walks carefully, and as he touches the door, he is grabbed by a creature. Josuke punches the creature and realizes together to find Kaicho. Koichi slowly walks carefully, and as he touches the door, he is grabbed by a creature. Josuke punches the creature and realizes that it is not a stand. Kaicho is lying in the corner of the room and tells them that the monster is his father. The man was punished for being a hateful person who mistreated his children and now lives without even knowing that he is a human. The reason he uses the bow is to get some stand who mistreated his children and now lives without even knowing that he is a human. The reason he uses the bow is to get some stand user who has the power to kill this monster. Josuke notices a box in the corner of the room and restores it with stand. He also restores an old photo of Keicho's family. His father picks up the photograph and begins and restores it with stand. He also restores an old photo of Keicho's family. His father picks up the photograph and begins to remember. This is what he has been looking for all this time, a memory of his family. The memories were still there. Josuke offers to heal his father, but Keicho must first deliver his bow and arrow for him to destroy him. Okayasu is listening to everything in an emotional way and Kaicho must first deliver his bow and arrow for him to destroy him. Okayasu is listening to everything in an emotional way and appears to convince his brother to leave all this hatred behind, but he is still reluctant and doesn't want to accept help in any way. It is then that everyone notices a sinister noise approaching the house. There is a man sneakily using stand, surrounding them using heat vision. A little robot with a red-eyed skull flies in through the window. He using stand, surrounding them using heat vision. A little robot with a red-eyed skull flies in through the window. He lunges at Okuyasu, but Kaicho jumps forward and is brutally hit. As he turns around, the stand is coming out of his mouth, and it explodes, releasing a blue smoke all over the room. The stand escapes out the window, and Koichi has disappeared along with his bow. A blue smoke all over the room. The stand escapes out the window, and Koichi has disappeared along with his bow. Okuyasu searches desperately for him, but it is in vain. He is gone. At least he knows that his brother gave his life to save him and will not be forgotten. Shitaro meets with Josuke and they talk about the hidden stand user who killed Kaicho. Josuke is sure that one day this curse will cross his path again, and until then he will continue his grandfather's effort, the hidden stand user who killed Kaicho. Josuke is sure that one day this curse will cross his path again, and until then he will continue his grandfather's effort, which is to protect the city. Finally, Josuke, Okuyasu and Koichi form a strong alliance, even greeting Angelo's stone on the way to school. And in closing, we hear on the radio that a student from the city is missing. And in her house there is an arm inside a bag and, lo and behold, holding Kaicho's arrow. What can this be?
Additionally, if you enjoy the video, please subscribe to receive future movie recaps. See you again later.